Namaste. Welcome to beginner yoga class number 8, which is the final one of this 8-part series. So congratulations, you made it all the way through. So in this one I will introduce another pose, a balance pose called Eagle. So just get ready to fly. So let's start with coming into a comfortable seated position. And if you want to, you can close your eyes and check in with yourself. Check in with how you're feeling today, this very moment. And pass no judgment. Just notice it. And then again, connect with the breath. Some inhales and exhales. Just becoming centered. And you can open your eyes. And Terry has joined us. So let's start warming up. So inhale our arms way up, reach up, and then take one arm down and arch over to the side. And go nice and gently. And then come on up, and then arch over to another side. And again, it's just feeling what's going on with the sides and bring your arm up and let's go dynamic. So let's go to the first side. It's just noticing the different body parts that you have to use to the different sensations that you feel when you do each of the poses. And you can go deeper or not deeper. There's no right or wrong in yoga. And then one more time on the other side. And then come on up and then take one hand, bring it to the opposite knee and twist around and just hold it. Just starting to twist around, breathing in. And if it's in your practice, if you have no neck problems, just glance over to the back of the shoulder, towards the shoulder that is twisted towards your back. And then come on back up. And then bring the opposite arm over. And again, if you want to, you can look over that back shoulder, making sure your shoulder's not coming up by your ears. And then come on back to center and just check in. Okay. And then uncross your legs and cross them over the different way. Just something different. And then inhale your arms up and then bring them down to the ground if you can. If not, that's okay. And then just fold forward. You don't have to go too far. And then come on back up and then come around to tabletop. So wrists are underneath your shoulders and knees are underneath your hips. And then Terry's going to show us how to do a cat. So round your back up like an angry cat. She's not angry right now. Drop your belly down. And then get the breath into it. So inhale, round your back. Exhale down. Inhale, rounding the back, and you don't have to go to any extreme. It's just a little bit of movement of the vertebrae, and then drop down, and then come to a flat back. Okay, bring your right leg way back, bring your right ball of the foot to the ground, and then press your heel back. Just feeling a nice stretch along the back of the calf. It's always good to get that kind of warmed up. And then you can windshield wiper your heel from side to side if you want. And then bring that right leg up and left arm forward. And just feeling a nice stretch right here for a moment. stretch. It's actually more of a strengthening. And then bring the left hand down. Take that right foot, cross it over your left calf, and look over your left shoulder. And it's not a very deep pose, but hopefully you're feeling it along the hip. And then come on back around to tabletop. Okay, left leg goes back, left ball of the foot to the floor. Stretch it out for just a moment. And then lift the leg up. And if it's in your practice today, bring the right arm forward. And just find that balance, the first balance of the day. And then bring the right hand down, take that left foot, cross it over your left calf, and maybe look over your right shoulder. Just get a little opening in the hips, taking some breaths, and then come on back around to tabletop, and then sit back into child's pose. So sit on back, and if your forehead can't reach the floor, you can always stack your fist one on top of the other. Just relax. And then come on back up to tabletop. And we're going to kind of stretch out our hips a little bit because we are going to, like I said, do a new pose today. So bring that right leg out. And then bend the knee out to the side like it's towards the shoulder, and then bring it back around. So what I'm getting you to try and do is rotate that hip around. So just moving it in just a circular rotation. Again, just getting a little bit warmed up in the hip. And then go slowly in the opposite direction. You get a little bit of core work too while you're doing this. And then one more time around. And then come on back down and pause. And you'll notice that that right hip is feeling a little bit more alive now. And now again, we'll do the other side. Left leg goes out, then kind of bring it up to the side and around. So you're circling that hip socket. And one thing that is for sure, we want to keep our sockets, our joints lubricated just to keep them healthy, and then go in the opposite direction. It's also good coordination. Keep breathing. And then come on back around. And let's come into our first downward facing dog. So curl your toes under, lift the sit bones up. Your knees are basically bent starting off. And just keeping your knees bent, but it's more about not getting the heels to the ground, but more so about lengthening the spine. I'm taking a nice big inhale and exhale. All right, walk your feet behind your hands. Come into a forward fold, and you keep your knees bent, okay? And really, really notice just how you can, when you fold forward, how you feel the stretch in the hamstrings, the back of your legs. Maybe your lower back feels a little bit like it's getting a release. And then bring your hands all the way up to your knees. Inhale halfway up to that flat back. Nice flat back, shoulders away from your ears. Exhale down, and then stand all the way up. Reach your arms way up, hands to the sky, bring your palms together, bring it through heart center, and pause in mountain pose. Okay, inhale your arms all the way up. Exhale, fly down. Inhale halfway up. Exhale down. Okay, you're going to take that right foot way back. Bring the right knee down. Make sure that left knee is right over the left ankle. come on up to a nice low lunge. Reach your arms up, feeling the stretch along that front of the right thigh, breathing into it. Bring your hands down, come to tabletop, walk your hands a little forward, lower yourself all the way down. Your elbows are kind of down by your sides, your hands are down by your chest, tops of the feet to the floor. Lift your collarbone up. And don't come up so high that all your ribs come off the floor. And exhale all the way back down. Come on back to tabletop. And then downward facing dog. And breathe. Nice big inhale and exhale. Pressing the index fingers into the floor. The index and the thumb into the floor. Again, walk your feet behind your hands, real slow. Coming into that forward fold. It's not about lengthening the legs so much. Some of you may be hyperextended in some of your joints, so keep nice soft knee bend in your knees. Inhale halfway up. Exhale down. Stand all the way up. Reach your arms way up, way up, way up. All the way up, hands into prayer. Come all the way through heart center. Pause, mountain pose. Inhale your arms all the way up. Exhale all the way back down. Inhale halfway up. Exhale down. And then step the left foot way back. And bring the left knee down. The right knee is right over the ankle. Come on up. Feel the stretch. It's really good to get those hip flexors stretched out in a world where a lot of us sit a lot. And then bring your hands down by your front foot. Step your right foot back to tabletop. Curl your toes under into downward facing dog. And breathe. Nice big inhale. And exhale. Okay. Stretching out the back of the legs. All right. Start remembering when we walk our feet behind our hands. See if you can remember to do the other foot. So if you start with your left foot all the time walking forward, see if you can start thinking about bringing your right foot. So come up to the front of the mat and into the forward fold. Okay. Inhale halfway up. Exhale down. Now this time we're going to bend into chair. So bend your knees. Maybe take your hands to your hips and come on up into chair pose. So you're like you're sitting on a chair, okay? So you're bending your knees and feel the inside and the outside of your feet really rooting down. You're not favoring one. If it's too much, come on up a little bit. Some of you may want to get really into it. So you're definitely sitting back on your ankles, okay? And then maybe bring your arms forward. This is another option. So it's a great quadricep and glute strengthener. Keep holding it. And then stand up. Bring your palms together. Bring it through heart center. And pause. Okay. So let's do a whole vinyasa now, okay? Inhale all the way up. We're going to have fun. Exhale, fly down. Okay. Inhale your hands halfway up. See that flat back? Exhale down. Okay, bring the right foot way back. Let's come into a nice high lunge. Okay, climbing up. So remember on high lunge, when you come up, the back foot may come down a little bit. Some of you may need to bring the heel down, but a high lunge is usually done up on the ball of the foot. Do what works for you, okay? And so your trunk is upright. You're not leaning forward, you're upright. Reach your arms up, okay? It's a really great leg strengthener. Breathing in, breathing out. Okay, bring your hands down by your foot. Okay, step the left foot back. Here's a challenge. Some of you have been maybe working a lot. You can come into plank or drop your knees, okay? And then lower yourself all the way down to your belly. Tops of the feet to the floor. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale down. Come on back to downward facing dog. So you may need to come up on your knees or come on back up to plank and then bring your sit bones back. And breathe. Nice big inhale and exhale. Getting centered again. Okay, right foot is going to come between your hands. So however you get that foot between your hands, and I just did a slingshot there myself. All right, and then come on up to high lunge on the other side. Find your balance. And always take note if something's going on with one or the other side. Okay. Okay, bring your hands back down to the floor. Step back into downward facing dog. If you need to lower the left knee and get it into downward dog, that's fine too. Take a nice big inhale and exhale. All right, do you remember which foot you walked forward with? See if you can do the opposite. Okay, walk your feet behind your hands, forward fold. Inhale halfway up. Exhale down. Bend your knees, coming up into chair. Now you can do it either with your hands or just have your hands on your hips and then bring the arms up. But really feel this one. It's almost like if you had a block in between your legs, you can squeeze it and then stand all the way up. Hands in the prayer. Come all the way through to heart center and pause. Okay, moving on. Inhale your arms all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. And when I fold forward, I'm folding at the waist. I'm not rolling down. Okay, inhale halfway up. Exhale down. Bring the left foot back. We're coming into warrior two. Okay, so the heel, front heel lines up with the back heel. Bending the front knee so it kind of goes over the front of the middle of the foot, the front foot. Okay, getting nice and grounded. Relaxing your shoulders, feeling your fingertips really stretching out. Okay, bring the back arm down to the back leg. Reverse it. Hold it there. Come on back to warrior two. Okay, bring your right elbow down to your right knee. Left arm goes up to the sky. Keeping that, you're not collapsing the left shoulder in, but really opening it up. Okay, come on back up to warrior two. Okay, lengthen the front knee, and we're going to come into triangle. So reach the arm out, and then just bring the right arm down to wherever it lands. Okay, don't make it such a big stretch yet. And make sure you're not hyperextending that front knee, but there's always a little slight bend into it. All right, feeling that. Excellent stretch. Okay, come on back up and come into warrior two again. Let's bring the left hand down to the back thigh. Reverse the warrior. Come on back up to warrior two. And then windmill your hands down by your front foot. You can step back into plank or tabletop, whatever works for you. Lower yourself all the way down. Tops of the feet to the floor. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale down. Come on back to downward facing dog. And breathe. Yep. Nice big inhale. And exhale. All right, that left foot, it's coming between your hands. I know you've been working this. Swivel the back foot 45 degrees. Line up the heel to the arch. Come on up to warrior two. Okay. And really relax into this one. Warrior Two is such a beautiful pose to get strength and stretch at the same time. Okay, right hand down by the back leg, reverse the warrior. Come on back up to Warrior Two. Left arm comes down to left thigh, and you can always do the arm over the ear. Okay, that's completely optional as long as you're not collapsing down, but opening up. That's why I like to keep this arm up to the sky. Come on back up to Warrior Two. Lengthen the front leg, and let's come into triangle. So you're lengthening the front leg, reaching up, pressing the back foot down, front foot down evenly. Come on back up to Warrior Two. Okay, put your hands on your hips. Bring that right foot next to the left. Oh, that was really good. And come on into chair, just for a moment. You know, one thing about these yoga classes, okay, and then stand all the way up, bring your hands into prayer, bring it through heart center, come all the way down. You have to laugh, because nobody's perfect. You have to laugh, okay? All right, so coming up on your toes, back on your heels, we're gonna get ready for eagle. This is so much fun. Okay, so you're gonna take, I'm gonna start with my right foot. This is my right foot. And just, I'm bending my knees a little bit and crossing the right foot over. So it's almost like I'm doing chair and a little bit of a chair and crossing my leg over. Now, this might be too much for some people, so maybe just do what works for you, okay? So have that right foot toe down, just so you get it. And then bring your arms into cactus. Okay, so this is the fun part. So this is the first way. So you bring your right arm forward, and then the left arm, and then you take the left arm on top of the right, and then bring the forearms around. And you grab hold with your hands, okay? This may not be accessible to everyone. You can do the hug, okay? Or you can even have your hands, your forearms together like that. So again, left arm on top, right arm around, wrap the forearms, okay? And watch that your shoulders don't come up by your ears. Okay, find the balance there, and then maybe lift your elbows up a little bit. Okay, and if this is really working for you, bend your left knee a little bit and try and wrap that right foot around the back of the calf. Remember, stare at something on the floor. And if you come out of it like this, so what? Laugh. Have a good time. And then when you slowly come out of it, you fly like an eagle, right? All right, let's do the other side. So start with bending your knees a little bit, taking that left leg over, and you can always keep that toe down on the ground. That's all right. Okay, arms in cactus. Okay, left arm forward, right arm on top this time. Wrap it around. Find something to stare at, okay, if you're going to go with the flying eagle part, okay? When you try and wrap the left top of the foot around the back of the right calf. And just breathe into it. And then slowly come on out of it. Fly if you want. And come on down. How do you feel? Eagle's a fun pose. All right, come on up to the front of your mat. Okay. Inhale your arms all the way up. Exhale all the way back down. Inhale halfway up, getting used to having that flat back, using the hinge at the hip. Exhale down. Come on down to tabletop and bring yourself down to a child's pose. Okay, walk your hands over to the right. Just getting a little bit of a stretch. Breathing in, breathing out. And then walk your hands over to the other side, just nice and slow. If you notice, we do everything nice and slow. It might be a little challenging for some people to go slow. Well, maybe the point is just to look at that and try and slow down, right? Come on back to center. All right, let's lower ourselves down to our belly. Okay, bring your hands down by your sides with your palms facing up. Okay, we're coming to locust. So lifting your collarbone up. And you start to feel your shoulder blades go down your back. Maybe lift your arms up. So your palms are facing up towards the sky. And then exhale down. And then inhale up again to just lifting up. We're warming up just that upper back. And then exhale down. And then one more time, come on back up. Inhale up. Now don't forget to breathe and maybe lift your thighs off the ground. Okay, if this might be too much for you. And we are definitely clenching our glutes. And if there's any pain in your lower back, please come out of it. And don't forget to breathe. Inhale and exhale. And then stack your palms on top of each other and bring a cheek down. Rest everything down. Feel that luxurious feeling of when you rest all the way down. All right, let's do it one more time, shall we? So bring the palms, the back of the palms down by your sides, okay? Lift the collarbone up, lift the arms up, lift the legs up. Feeling an excellent strengthening in the back of our bodies. We need to keep our backs of our bodies strong. Inhale and exhale. And then stack the opposite palm on top of the other. Rest the other cheek. And feel that real incredible, just melting down. Okay, so come on up on your elbows. You can come into Sphinx, which is the elbows are right underneath the shoulders. And you can get a little bit of a stretch for a moment. You'll feel that in your abdomen. And then if you want, you can bend the right leg and reach around with your right arm. And then remember, you're pressing the foot into the hand and feeling a good stretch along that quadricep. Breathe into it. We worked our quads today doing the chair poses and also eagle. And then come on back down. Just pause. And then bring the other leg. And press the ankle into the hand. Okay, you're not yanking. And then some of you may want to try and do both. Okay? And remember, you can always use a towel, a belt. You can roll over to your side. Just trying to feel the front of your legs getting a little bit of a stretch. And then slowly come on back down and sit back into child's pose. Great. And breathe. Gently come on up to a seated position. Okay, bring your feet out in front. Bring your fingertips behind you and lengthen. Come up with that posture. It really helps to have your fingertips behind you. You may even want to open up, kind of do a mini reverse tabletop. Some of you maybe even want to lift your sit bones up off. And then come on back down, just so you have that lengthening of the spine. And then reach your arms up, and remember, you're hinging at the hips, not the waist, the hips. So wherever you start to round, bring your hands down towards your legs. Whenever you start to round, just stop and just notice the sensations. It's the journey, not the goal on this one, okay? It's really the goal for most people is, I gotta get to the feet. Why? Why not just feel what is happening in your body, and to also appreciate everyone's bodies are different. It's not a competition. All right, and then come on back up. Okay, bend the right leg. I'm taking, this is my right leg. Cross it over the left knee. Hug it with your left arm. This might be your right arm. And then my right arm or your left arm is going up and around and back, doing a nice twist around. Rotating again the spine. Get a little bit of the organs moving a little bit. And then come on back around. Pause for a moment. Okay, lengthen up, right? Take the left knee over the right knee. Hug with the right arm. Left arm goes up and around. And again, it might be the other leg. Feeling sitting up, twisting around, and then come on back around. Straighten the leg out, lengthen up, and then take your hands. You can either take your hands, some people do it on the outside, some people take it from the back of their knees, and then bring your feet together. So instead of just going, maybe get into a habit of gently using your arms to bring your soles of your feet together. And just by doing that, you automatically start rounding. So lengthen up again. Okay, and your knees may be way up. You can use blocks under your knees. And your knees may never get down to the ground. And again, that's okay. It's just the way we're built. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. And then again, keeping the spine long, and then feeling the sensation wherever it's at when you come forward. Maybe you'll feel inner thigh. Maybe you'll feel the back, your lower back. But whatever it is, just enjoy it. And then slowly come on back up. Okay, bring the soles of the feet around. We'll come into a boat. So here I do like to grab the back of my knees. It does help. Now remember, some of you may want to have your hands back like this and lift your legs up like this. That's all right, okay? This one you can possibly work up to grabbing the back of your legs if your hands are behind, because this is definitely a core workout, okay? Maybe let your hands go. And just think about sailing right now. We're in the boat pose. And if you're jittering like I am, so maybe there's a wind out on the water, right? Keep breathing. And bring your hands behind. Soles of the feet down. Hug your knees. Take a nice big inhale. And exhale, relax your shoulders down. All right, now we slowly, you can maybe grab the back of your thighs, lower yourself down. Be aware of how you're working up here, okay? And even if you can't gently come down, be mindful of how you come down to your back. It's just another compassionate way of treating yourself instead of just going from one pose to another, but thinking about those in-betweens. Okay, take the right foot over the top of the left knee, and this may be enough for some of you, okay, and that's all right. Maybe lift the left leg up, take the right arm through your legs, clasp your hands on the back of the thigh, and relax. So the goal here is to stretch the hip. And it's not about yanking that left knee in so much, but just exploring, gently exploring, and being curious of how that hip can open up a little more. And the best way to do it is through the breath. If you want to, you can lengthen the left leg up and rotate your ankle around, loosening up the joint there, and then move it around the other way. Maybe point and flex it a little bit. And then when you're ready, bring that left foot down, uncross your legs, and just pause. How's that right hip feel? And it's interesting, you may not feel anything, but if you really keep doing this and thinking about it, you'll start to discover that you are feeling something. There's got to be something. Okay, cross that left leg over, lift the right leg up, left hand arm goes through your legs, and try not to stick your leg straight up in the air yet to stretch your ankles, to rotate your ankles. Start by feeling the hip. And again, being adventuresome and exploring, softly exploring the opening of the hip. And now when you're ready, you can lengthen the right leg and rotate your ankle one way. And then rotate it around the other. You can point and flex if you want. And then when you're ready, bring that foot back down, uncross, pause. Okay, do you notice anything in the hips? Maybe they're a little happier. Okay, coming up into bridge. So you can either robot your arms or grab down by the sides of your mat, okay? And slowly start lifting your hips up to the sky, okay? And maybe start bringing your shoulder blades down towards your sit bones a little bit more. Taking a nice big inhale and exhale. See if you can soften the grip on your glutes a little bit. It's quite easy to get into the grabbing here because it's just natural for the glutes to want to help out. But see if you can soften them. And then slowly, slowly, slowly lower yourself all the way back down to the floor and just pause for a moment. Maybe heel toe your feet out almost as wide as your mat. Bring your arms out to a T, and you can do some windshield wipers back and forth, just loosening up anything that might have gotten sticky, or do any other pose stretch that you might need before we go into Shavasana. And when you're ready, just lengthen your legs out. Just let your feet flop open, your hands down by your sides, palms facing up, and get comfortable. And go back to that sensation of really feeling how your body can just melt down into the earth and get completely relaxed. You might even feel the skin on your cheeks going towards your ears, and your shoulders going back towards the floor. And the backs of your hands all the way up your arms are just being cushioned by whatever is underneath them. And how gravity just lets the rest of the body the trunk all the way down to your toes. Just let it rest. Gravity is letting you rest and rejuvenate. And then focus on what's going on inside, your breathing, the rise and fall of the belly. How your jaw is unclenched. And maybe feel a softness right in the center of your forehead. You can stay here for as long as you like. If not, you can start moving your fingers and toes. Just bring in some little movement into your digits. And when you're ready, you can roll over onto your right side and just stay there for a moment. We want to transition just nice and gently. And when you're ready, come on up to a seated position and see if you can remember if there's a dominant foot that likes to come in front. Bring the other one out in front. And just like we started, sitting up, checking in one more time with how you're doing. Has there been any changes? And then bring your hands in together and inhale compassion to yourself. And exhale compassion to the world. Namaste. Thank you for joining me.